Hey folks, AJaytheCEO here, and it is January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year to all of y'all. And this is kind of a little bit different. I've been telling y'all a long time about a vision that I have of wanting to, well, the dream that I've had of wanting to buy an old church, fix it up, modernize it, and then, use that as like my laboratory of what I do here on YouTube. And then with the dream of being able to turn that over and then, with the right ministry, bless that ministry with this church that we've been remodeling. And just let you know, we're nowhere close to being able to buy anything like that. But just like we talked about before, I want to talk about writing the vision, make it plain. And I want to actually just start going through the process of this. And hopefully, if y'all are in the process, if you're a church and you're a congregation and you're looking to want to build a church or get a church, the concepts of what I'm talking about would actually help benefit you, because the same thing that I would do in this project would be the same thing I would hope any ministry that's looking to build or get a church or renovate a church. These are the things that they will want to go over. So I don't have a place or nothing like that, but these are just some of the things that I would like to go over. So the very first thing I'm going to do is the bedrock of everything is going to be the foundation, which is going to be the networking. You've been seeing me pulling cables and all this other stuff all over churches, but I want to start with the infrastructure. And this is like the dream. If money was not an object, what I would actually do. So first, because I use this stuff here in my house as well too, I want to actually do a I hate, well, I'm not going to say that word. I want to just push it to the limit of what I would love to have a system be in place for a ministry. So let's go over to one of my favorite places, um, Unifi, and I want to build out and show you everything that I will put on this. And I'm going to try and find some type of blueprint here so we can kind of put this all together, because I want to talk through what I envision for a modern church. So first off, we got to have Wi-Fi that covers the entire place. All of the equipment needs to be hardwired in, for the media, for televisions. We want to put in cabling that can support current technologies and possible future technologies. So we're talking about maybe fiber connections, places. We want to have multiple Cat 6 connections. And we just want to really do it up. Also, we want to do door access so that if we have a choir rehearsal or something like that at a church, you don't necessarily have to hand the keys to everybody, but then they could swipe and get in at a certain time. We want to do scanning for security to make sure the whole premises are taken care of. The outside is protected as well as the inside. And I just want to start with the networking stuff because this is very easy for me to go through. And we're just going to play like we're doing some shopping here. All right. So first, let's go to our Unifi stuff. And we're going to start this. As much as I would love to play around with one of these dream walls, I don't really think that's necessary right now. But we're going to start with our main thing, the UDM Pro, the Dream Machine. This is what I use here, as well as a lot of ministries where I do their networking. This is going to be the brain of everything that controls all of the stuff that we're going to be doing. So obviously this is going to change a little bit based off of the layout. That's why I need to get a blueprint. I might probably try and find something to do this here. But the other thing I want to do is I want to leverage some of the newer stuff as well too. So I want to use, we're going to get two 48 port POE switches that have 600 watts of power. So that's going to be more than enough for all of the connections that we're going to do throughout the entire church. We might get some extra ones, maybe some POE switches for like the security cameras outside so that we can just run one cable to that box and then split out somewhere else. But we'll see, and we'll let this grow. So we got our now I went with the Pro POE switches mainly because I want to have a 10 gigabit backbone between everything, meaning that even though we're not going to be pushing that to the limit, I want to use this and push the networking as far as we can. So, you know, with Ethernet, you can have a gigabit connection, but even here, I have a 10 gigabit between my computers, my NAS, and my router in here. I have the same similar type of thing set up. So we're going to be able to connect our our routers, our UDM with our switches over fiber. So that makes that cable very thin. And now we only have to focus on zones where we want this stuff to go. So obviously this is sold out, but you know, I'm just trying to put it in y'all's minds what we would do here. And actually I would probably use a detached one that has it all built in because we're going to be able to run cables in the wall and stuff like that. So you get that in your mind. That's what we're going to do. So we got one small one that we would use to connect the UDM directly to the first switch. So we're good. And that's that Pro, the Pro POE. So we have 40 POE jacks on each one. So a total of 80. So that's going to be more than enough. So, you know what? Let me see if I can find myself a church. So this is what we're going to be basing our stuff off of. So if let's increase the volume. Let's increase the size of this. So first, if we look in here, we got 2 entrances. Here's our sanctuary. There's a pulpit. Got a bunch of offices in rooms. That bathroom. It looks like there's an office, some work areas and stuff like that. This will give us a good place to kind of base off of this. So we have 2 48 port PoE switches. So in theory, let's see, this looks like 2 classrooms or a fellowship hall or something like that. So we're talking, and let's mark this so that we can actually get an idea of what we're going to do. So we're going to make marks for network because we got 80 spots. So first we're going to do is put a dot right there. That's for external camera. You want to cover every point of entry that can come into the church. So we got 2 right there. There's another one right there. And I'm just clicking and I didn't even start counting. But then also on each corner, we want to have cameras on each corner so we can monitor what's going on. And since there's such a gap right there, might put another one right here. We got another one right there, there. And I think something like that should be fine. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And honestly, that quick, I messed up my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 external points. We still got 60 to go inside. Now again, if we go back over here to our, and I need to keep that up so we can go back. If we go back to some of our switching, and I've used these before, some of these, like this flex box, actually can go, provides 4 ports of PoE power, but then you can put it in an external box like this so it can sit outside. So it could be something like that if we really needed to do more ports outside, but that's good. Let me get back in size right there. So just realize, obviously, if you have a different blueprint, this could change. But for each room, at minimum, I want to have, well, actually, let's do access points. So we want to be able to cover wide areas. So I am assuming just by the size of this sanctuary, I would probably put 4 access points in this area. So I put 1 over top of the pulpit, and then in each zone. So I'd probably put 1 over this section, 1 in the center, and then another one over here, something like that. And from a Wi-Fi standpoint, that should be more than enough because it's not like somebody's going to be sitting in there 24/7. We want to be able to have enough coverage for everybody to be in there. Now, this is my dream. All right. So it looks like this is the sound room. I'll probably put the soundboard right there, but I would probably make this the media room here. So inside of this area, I would probably have its own dedicated switch inside of here that necessarily wouldn't need to have POE. So let's go back up here and maybe just a regular 24 port Pro that we're going to use because we want to have a 24 10 gigabit backbone on everything. We go ahead and add one of those as well too, and that will go inside of there. And we're going to be using some PTZ cameras in there, so we need to have some type of POE switch. And I have this one that doesn't produce enough power um, to handle even the cameras that I got here. So let's see if they still have the outdated one. This one, if I could still get access to this was actually a very good um, PoE because it supports up to 130 watts of power on. Oh, I actually might want to try and get one of those for my system here. So we'll get that. This is what we'll turn on and off to power all of our cameras and our joystick that's inside of there. Well, I mean, the fact that we'll have full access, we'll put jacks in the wall, make it look really, 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 really nice with that setup. All right, so let's bring this back over here again. Oh, well, we got to go over there since we just talked about it. We got 20 cameras on the outside, and that did not include security. So let me change this color here so that we can do security access. So what we want to do is each door, we want to have some type of control access so people can swipe a card or badge in to get inside of there. So we're going to put one right there, one right there. And we only want this for major access doors. We don't want this for every single door. Personally, I think that's kind of overkill. So maybe another one right there. And I think that's about it. Now, with that being said, let's change our color back because when you're doing cameras, you want to actually, the outside is good, but we also want to be able to cover the inside as well too. So inside of here, when somebody comes in, you're going to get captured on the cameras right here. When they come in, maybe we want to have some ceiling dome cameras here so we can see what's going on. So maybe one right there so everybody can see this coming in. Another one here in our hallway, looking back this way. Another one looking back that way. We also want to have some inside the sanctuary for security. We put them around the entire perimeter so we can get all points of access because we want to see when people coming in and out. So I don't know, maybe one right there. And maybe this one will be pointed in, well, actually two would be there. One in here to monitor when somebody's coming in that door. Another one on this wall when somebody's coming that way. Yeah. And then, I mean, honestly, if you want to do it, probably want to put one in each room, to be quite honest, so that we can cover everything. So every room is being tracked in all possible ways. So maybe let's just actually do it. If this was a dream, we can put as much in there as we wanted to. Obviously, we're not going to put nothing in the bathrooms, nothing creepy or nothing like that. That looks like a little coffee area in the kitchen. That's kind of cool. We got one, that's a bathroom. So inside of here, oh, there's another door I completely forgot about. So 3, 1, 2, and 3. So all of those areas are covered. if this is kind of like say this is a trustee room, we definitely want to have some cameras in there to monitor what everybody's doing, if they count money and all that other good stuff. And then um, maybe one here in the classrooms. And yeah, I mean we're going all out on here. So not that I want to freak everybody out. This looks like a pastor's office because there's a bathroom inside of here. So we definitely, for pastor security, we will want to have that as well too. And then most likely this will probably be like a security office or something like that. So honestly, I have to say this is kind of fun to start just even thinking about doing something like this, which is really cool. And actually, since we're here, let's go ahead and put an access point here in this area if that wasn't one already. So we got a whole bunch of dots. So let me start right here and let's start out again. So we've already used up an entire we're on our second PoE switch because remember it's 48 ports, but only 40 of them provide power. So we're gonna have to add another PoE switch to that. So let's go ahead and add another one of those. So now we're going to have a total of 120 PoE ports. All right, so that's cool. All right, and I didn't even include the security ones outside. So so we're in the 60 range already. All right, so we got that part done, and this is going to grow over time. Um, let's see what's the next thing that we can do in here. So we're going to go to our Wi-Fi. And with these, I'm gonna go with the enterprise grade on each area. So it's overkill, but then you don't have to worry about we'll be able to sustain any amount of people. I mean, on here, because it says it can handle 600 plus devices. So technically, you could probably just put two of these in the sanctuary. And you'll get away with it. So let's just go, if we go back to our diagram here, we'll cut back and say maybe just two are needed inside the sanctuary. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just do 5 of these in the big area. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just 4. 4 in the big areas. And then we'll do the smaller ones like in the rooms and stuff like that. So let's go here. We'll add 4 of these. And then we'll do the Wi-Fi 6 Pros. We'll do that everywhere else so that internet is covered everywhere. So we'll put one in each area. You might as well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't think we need to go that much on there. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do 4 there. We'll do 4 of these. And let's go back to the cart and we'll add one more of the bigger ones for the enterprise one. We'll add that into that fellowship hall area so that could cover enough. Now, the other thing is this is all networking. So the dream of this is say that this building actually has like a play area or outside area. So you have picnics or something like that. You might want to have Wi-Fi out there because with the pandemic, we've had a lot of people move stuff and try to live stream outside. And if we're doing this, why not have an embedded fiber optic Ethernet cable with a weather resistant network jack outside so you can actually plug in and then you got Wi-Fi that covers the entire area. So I think that would be really cool as well too. And it's like, why not? I mean, this is the dream. So none of this is in stone. We can imagine as much as we want to with this. So with some of the mesh ones, we can probably put some of these mesh ones outside that can cover the areas. So um, that will be cool. Maybe we'll add 2 of them. I don't know. Oh, let's just do a pack of 5 of them. Why not? All right, so we got, I think the Wi-Fi and networking is covered everywhere. So we already did our gateway, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to go to our security cameras. Now, when we come to, because of the amount of cameras that we're going to be using, the UDM Pro by itself is not going to be enough. So we were going to have to go with the Pro that can support up to, how many cameras does this support up to? 60 HD cameras and 24K cameras. So we got to make sure we're inside the range of that and see how many, let's say we want to cover for a whole month. So that'll say how many drives we need to have in here. So I get my drive somewhere else because I think theirs are overpriced, but that is fine. We'll go with that. So we'll get that there. We're going to actually do some viewports. This is a product I've been wanting to use for a long time. This is where I used a mini PC to simulate this because this is always back ordered. This is a dedicated device that you just strap onto a TV and it will give you that display automatically and you don't have to program anything. Um, I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to order one of these just so I can have one personally as well. So actually, let me do that right now. All right, so we're gonna have one of these in the security room. Maybe you want to put one in Pastor's office or somewhere else. So let's just go with 3 of these, just in case. And now let's go back to the type of cameras we got. So we can go up to 30. No, we can go up to 24K cameras, but we're gonna go with just some 2.5K for right now. We can always upgrade them, but then know that we need to add some more support for the other stuff. Um, so let's go with these for our outside cameras. We're gonna do a bunch of these. So what, we were already at 20 just on the outside. And if we're gonna go for the gusto, why not go ahead and add a couple of these PTZ controller ones, which are very, very overpriced, but they're 4K. So maybe we want to put these, maybe we can cut back in cost and we can put these in the corners for being able to control at night. So these will just be for the primary, like over the, where you need to have actual real good control if somebody's coming into the door or in the entrances. So, you know, let's go for 4 of them. All right, so we got our cameras, that's for there. And now what we want to do is focus on our interior cameras. And we don't necessarily have to go over the top. We can go with these flex ones for that, for the interior, because they're just going to give a static shot and they work great. I actually have a couple of these myself. So we're just going to go with, say, another, I don't know, another 20. Now they have some cool ceiling mounts that I would definitely use with this. And let's just go ahead and get 7. So we'll have one more extra left over. All right. Whew. So it's a lot of cool tech that can go with this. So we also want to try and add this doorbell in here so that when somebody rings the door, it actually will bring up as a camera. I have something similar as well too. So we'll go ahead and add that because that sends power over PoE. We'll go ahead and get a white one there. And it's just so cool, just the tech. And I mean, I am enjoying myself even just doing this, believe it or not. So we got these little doorbells that actually work the same way. When somebody presses the button, they are Wi-Fi and you can have them throughout the whole building so everybody can hear when the doorbell is ringing. So we'll go ahead and put maybe, we get a total of, actually we only need to do a total of 3 since they already came, the doorbell came with one. So we got those. All right, now what else? What else can we add to this prototype church? That's what I'm calling this whole project. We're going to add some floodlights in here as well too. So this will be on the outside. I've actually installed these at some other churches as well too. This will be they're water resistant, and this will be over the door, so they'll light up right there. So we'll put a total of 6 of those. And I mean, I'm just like when I grew up, it's not around anymore. It used to be Best. They used to sell electronics, toys, and stuff like that. I remember getting the Best catalog, and I would just go in there and fold everything and just dream about, oh, I would love to get this and that. And that's kind of like what I feel like I'm doing right now. All right, so we got our cameras. Um, Now let's go to our door access. So the Enterprise Access Hub just came out, and this can actually support multiple doors. Originally, it used to be you had to get one of these per door. So right now, this can control this door, and um, it can control how many doors it could say. 7 lock terminals, 7 inputs. So it can handle 7 doors. So maybe 2 of these will be good. And then this is where we can put the locks and everything like that on the door. So they also have, let's go back all the way to the door access so we can look at everything, because this is the stuff where we want to have somebody swipe and somebody can get in. Um, so that's the hub, and this is the original one, and this is the one that can control up to 8 doors. So we need to have readers for each door. This has a camera built into it, so when somebody comes up, it's going to take their picture and verify who they are, and you can swipe your badge there and stuff like that. Um, so, and I don't know what this mission critical is. A switch with integrated battery capable of providing uninterrupted power for 8 devices. Oh, we definitely might want to add something like that, since it would act as a battery backup. So if you lose power, you wouldn't want all of a sudden the batteries be lost, power to be lost, and then all your doors become unlocked. So that's what that would be for. So we just added some more stuff right there. All right, so we got the door readers. This will unlock the doors. We're going to put this on all our major doors. So that was only a total of 4 of those. And what else do we have for our door access? We also have, we want to use an emergency exit. So you can have a physical connection to unlock everything. Go to accessories. Thought they had it here. Oh, related add-ons. All right, there it goes. So these are the access cards that you can give people that they can have, or you can get a key fob. Personally, I like that. And $100 just for one. Oh, that's kind of up there, but you got to think pastor, head of the sexton, whoever is cleaning. You don't have to give this to everybody. This is somebody that's going to be permanently there. So I don't know, maybe like 6 of those. But then the cards, this could be something that you can assign out to somebody, like say they're the minister of music and they have choir rehearsal. You can, inside the software, you can assign when that is active so that people can come to the church. Oh, choir rehearsal at 7. Hey, this card only works on Tuesdays and Thursdays when you have practice, and it will only unlock the door, one specific door, at 5:30. So you can get in there an hour and a half early. So I do like stuff like that. And it's 20 of them for like $40. So we'll get that. And you can always, turn them off. If somebody keeps them, just deactivate the card. So really cool. I love the tech. These are the emergency access, as I was talking about, that it's a physical key that can actually unlock the door if need be. We'll want to put those in the same type of locations as those doors. So that'll be 4 of those. Magnetic locks. So for regular doors, which it looks like most of these are, we're gonna, with the side doors, we'll put those. That's gonna be what, 3 of those. But then the mag locks, these are the ones that you'll see they can hold up to 1,200 pounds of pressure before that magnet will give. We'll put those on the front doors. So like if we look here, so we'll actually do 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll double that up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of them actually. So we'll do 8, and that will hold those doors real steady. And that's the mission critical stuff that we were just doing, which is doubled over because this actually provides power. So if you lose electricity, it won't automatically unlock the doors. But then also the enterprise hub also supports that same thing. So you can have a battery backup there as well too. So double redundancy for that. So that way, if you lost power, you can still get into the doors and everything like that because both of those. So that's cool. All right, so let's actually go back to our switching. And there's something else, I think, since we're talking about power redundancy, there is a power supply that can power all of this as well too, that I think is kind of um, essential to this as well too. It must be under something new. Anyway, let's work our way back. So we're also going to add voice over IP to cover everything there. So um, for an analog adapter, that's what I have. I have one of those as well too. It's actually right there on the table, right there. If you can see it, goes to my fax machine. So say we have that. So if we still need to have faxes, we'll have that. But then everybody else has these touch phones that you can call in between. I have one of those as well too. I don't know if you can see it, if I can pull it closer. So I have the same thing. So all of this stuff I've actually used, and this is actually my office phone that I use for my company. So we'll add those so that everybody can use some phones, and it's going to be a subscription lock. So because we're gonna be using the Unifi stuff to support this, and we'll make all the phones black. Let's go with, I don't know. Let's go with 10 of them. No, let's go with, yeah, let's go with 10 of them. All right. So all our phone stuff is straight. Now let's see what other new toys we can add in here. Ooh, an EV charger. You understand? This is a prototype church. How would you like it to actually have an EV charger outside so that people can charge the stuff? Now the only issue is I did reach out to Ubiquiti. These are CCS chargers, and everybody's going to the NAC standard, which that's the North American Charging Standard. That's Tesla's charger that almost every company except for Stellantis and Mitsubishi are the only ones that have not signed on to that. So pretty much at the end of this year, 2024, everybody is moving to that standard. So um, when they actually have these as a NAC charger, yeah, I would love to add about like 10 of these out in the parking lot of a church. You got to realize we're getting there. So I think that's going to be cool. But anyway, we'll add that at a later time. They do have some other devices that I don't think is essential for what we're doing right now. Let's see, related plugins, add-ons, don't need that. We already did that. Related add-ons. So this is some other stuff. We've already did our mounts for our cameras. So I think all of those are fine. Yeah, I think we're good so far with our networking standards. We don't have any new integrations, and all of our cabling and all this other stuff like that. We ain't gonna worry about that because we would handle that ourselves. I mean, as big as a project of this, I would love to do this myself, especially I can go at my own pace to do this, and love to have something and bring a whole bunch of y'all to come in and work and help and see how this whole thing is built out. I think that would be really, really, really cool. Now, there is something else. Um, that's what I was looking for, power distribution, where it's redundant power that can tap onto everything. So I would definitely would want to have this on each one of our racks where all the stuff is going to go. So right now we're looking at least 3 of these for redundant power. So yeah, that is really cool. So We're just talking about the networking, security cameras, and door access. Looking at that right now, out not including cables, fiber optic cables, Ethernet. Actually, we're doing it all. We're doing it all. So let me go back here because I forgot I have this as well too. We're gonna put these little panels here to make it look all nice and neat. So we have our you have brush panels and all this other stuff, but I need our blank one. I have two of them here on my network stuff. So we got we need, that's 48, that's another 48, that's another 48. So that's going to be for all of our stuff, and they have these blanks, but we're going to order a bunch of these as well too. I want to make everything look all, symmetrical and everything, All right. We're probably going to need some blanks to fill out everything, but that's going to be dependent on the rack that we get. Let's see. What else do we need? Those are the 10 gig modules, but I'm going to actually do solid copper. So it's actually going to be kind of like this. It's actually going to have the integration is actually going to be built on it itself. So this will work. Actually, that's 30 meters, so that might work. So let's just add 3 of them. Hey, why not? So that's going to be the bridge behind all of our stuff. So it's all tied together that way. And if we look back over it, let's look back over our network recorder. If we can get a zoom in picture here, you see this actually, that has a 10 gig. So our video recorder will be 10 gig as well too. Again, the whole backbone will be built that way. So that's kind of slick. So all of our cameras, so we can support 30 of them there. And for a whole month, we need to fill up all those drives there. So not a problem. So that's it. Really excited that, and this is the dream of being able to do something like this. And again, this was just the networking that with the setup that we're talking about right there, phones, security cameras, door access, networking, that whole building, that church is going to be covered from whatever aspect it needs from a networking standpoint. All we have to do, say we get a gig up and down internet connection from Fios, and because it's a fiber optic connection, we can run it directly into the UDM Pro, and we don't have to worry about nothing. Again, let me know if y'all like this. This is just, I'm documenting this because this is the dream that I want to do of building, buying a church, retrofitting it, and doing some stuff like this. And wow, this is, I'm glad I actually did this because this is, gets my mind on something else, which I think is really cool, just to think, ooh, what could be done. Now again, maybe you're not in a position just from this. This is looking like, just from the equipment standpoint, this is looking like it's coming out just from an equipment standpoint of $31,505. That might not be realistic for some churches. That might be cheap for other churches. You never know. We have a wide gamut of people who are building churches and modernizing churches and stuff like that. But maybe this will give you an idea. And maybe when I'm talking through that, it popped in like, oh, I like to do that. Oh, that's how you do that. So, and I didn't even include when we talk about sound, where we might need to do certain boards that need network access, DMX controls, Dante. We haven't talked about none of this, but this is all meant to build a foundation that if I was moving forward with doing a prototype church, this is what I would do. So I'm gonna put a link down below to everything that I was talking about, and just let me know what other stuff would you like to see if we were building a church and modernizing it from the ground up to where it was like there was no limitations. What would you like to see being done? Maybe we can just talk through it and see and envision and future cast of what that might be. So I hope you like this. I really enjoyed this. And whether nobody watched it or not, this was fun for me. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ, and we'll catch y'all on the next video. Later.